Hey, what's up, fellow Patriots? I just figured I'd hop on here, say Happy New Year to everybody. But the real reason I'm coming on here is because I had to think real long and hard about what I was going to say, and just felt something needed to be said. With the recent events that's happening in Virginia, a lot of Patriots are getting together, a lot of minds are running wild. I'm not going to say people are going crazy, but minds are going crazy right now because a lot of people don't know how this is going to go down. I'm not saying like crazy and like, well, I'm going to snap off and just start shooting up the place crazy. I'm just talking about crazy as far as people don't know how this is really going to go down. You know, there's a lot of scenarios that can happen and people need to be prepared, and that's what it is. A lot of people have never been to combat. A lot of people don't know basically how to get their point across without using violence, and they're trying to gather their thoughts to find out the best way to do it. And I give props to everybody right now because nobody can be prepared for what's about to happen on the 20th. Virginia's a big deal. All eyes are on Virginia right now. Me personally, I would love to be over in Richmond, but I'm gonna stand back for a little bit. Not because I don't feel that what everybody's going there to do is 100% correct, but we also need people standing back too, in my mind, because you don't want everybody there. If something does go off, you don't want all your best people there. You need that like backline defense. Because it is going to spread quick. It's not just going to be in Richmond. We've been in the middle of a war for some time now. No matter how many people try to deny it. People think that it's Republican versus Democrat, which is not the case. It is corruption versus people trying to get rid of the corrupted. And people are getting trapped in this little matrix because they've been raised to follow people without asking questions and believe that the media will never lie to them, and media just reports the news, which we all know that that's not the case. A lot of us have woken up. A lot of people on the liberal side say that they have woken up, but they have woken up to the agenda of what the left wants them to think is woken up. I've heard them throw that term, I'm woke, I'm woke, I'm woke. Well, if you still don't see what's going on the left, then I'm sorry, you are not woken. There's corruption on both sides, but you have to be able to identify the people that are trying to get rid of the corruption. That's the problem. A lot of people don't know. They don't see it. They're following media still. They're following fake news, and that's exactly what it is. The real news is what you see here. It's people like you and me that are getting out there and talking. People that are letting you know what's going on. As a truck driver, I'm on the road. I meet people from all over this great country, and I know firsthand what a lot of people think and believe. I do notice, I wanted to get on there because there has been some comments made by fellow Patriots, and these aren't bad people, so don't get me wrong here, because these are people that I would definitely go to combat with, and I would definitely have their back, and I would expect to have my back, and I'd be honored for them to have my back. But there has been comments that have been made that I feel that I need to address. Picking out certain communities, and classifying people kind of in a prejudiced way as far as grouping that whole community together. And I don't want to go into too much detail, but every community has bad apples. Every community has bad apples. And you can't write out a community or start slamming a community and say that we're going to change this, we're going to change this. Religion says this. We could get into religion about everything. I never really spoke out about this, but I'll probably get excommunicated for saying this, but I am a Mormon priest. I have been ordained into the priesthood. I'm not practicing. I'm kind of reference myself as a Jack Mormon. But even in that religion, there's a lot of things that I don't believe that are right. As far as, they believe that all black people were cursed with dark skin and flat noses because of sin. It's a true story. Look it up. You, no religion is completely right. I don't care what you're saying. So if you're hiding behind religion and saying that this is your reasoning, that's wrong. Religion should never be a reason. It's great to have beliefs. But first and foremost, you have to realize that we are all patriots. And if you're going to fight for freedom and fight for Americans, you need to fight for all of Americans. You might not agree with certain lifestyles, certain religions, but you do need to fight for all Americans. It's not your position to tell people how they can live their lives or what they want to do or what they want to believe. You can't pick and choose what you want to fight for. You're fighting for freedoms, and I'm sorry, freedom is a part of the right to your own beliefs, a right to your own lifestyle. But on the other hand, we're also fighting for morals, and that's a really big part, because I really believe that as a country we have lost the foundations that this country was built on, morals and decency, and we do have to protect that to an extent. You can't just take a group of people and say, well, these people have no morals, because I guarantee you within that community there are people like you and me that will have your back, and they understand that there are agendas being pushed and forced upon other people. You have to keep that in your mind. You can't just classify and be prejudiced against a group because of what you see and what you think is the truth, because that's not the case. Americans are Americans. We're all in it together. I don't care what you say. Even if you're Muslim, black, Jewish, gay, we're all in it together. And today, just some things that were said, I'm like, well, I understand what they're saying, but the way it was worded can be taken the wrong way. And that's why I'm not pointing any fingers or calling anybody out. But we're setting an example right now, and that's exactly what we have to do. We have to be that example, and we have to think very, very clearly about what we say. Because the last thing we want is the hotheads taking things in a different way than what they were meant. And that's what I felt was kind of portrayed today. We just have to watch it, set that example, and realize that we're not going to separate anybody. You know, even as like what's going on in Richmond right now, when we walk in there as patriots, shake those officers' hands, because guess what? They're Americans too. Until the point that they turn their weapons on us for being Americans, they are on the same side as us, and we have to keep that in mind. We're not there to incite a riot. There might be groups like Antifa going in there trying to incite riots. But still, we have to understand that we are all Americans, and you have to analyze the whole situation, everybody around you. And everybody is on that same side to start. And true colors will come out if things escalate. But don't go there looking for trouble. That's like the last thing we need. You know, we're going there as representatives of America. Representatives of freedom. And they can't be forgotten. No other agenda is on the board right now. We are going there to protect civil liberties, the Second Amendment, all amendments. I mean, we are going there to protect our way of life. Get rid of all those other agendas and all that, because we need to stand strong on one focus, and then later down the line maybe we can start picking into some other stuff. But right now they're trying to take away our weapons. We see what's happening within the government. We're seeing them trying to take away our rights, put surveillance on us 24/7. Basically this is turning into China. And it's happening quickly. That's the weird thing, because, you know, it's been happening through years real slowly. And then ever since Trump became president, the whole left has just gone apeshit crazy. And now it's like full force, full speed ahead. Like, they are just pushing this socialist agenda, just basically taking things to a whole different level, and it's happening real quickly, and people don't see it because it's happening so quick that people aren't even the people that are still trapped in this matrix and still don't understand what's wrong with our government. They're following blindly because they've been raised to believe that this is the people they need to follow. These people will never do any harm to them, will never do any wrong. The media will never lie to them. They still live in a matrix. They still live in a different reality. A lot of them claim to be woke because they think that they're waking up to corruption, but they're following these leaders blindly. And whatever these corrupt leaders are telling them is corrupt, that's what they're following, and it's not right. Eventually people are waking up, because trust me, like, I know a lot of people, a lot of my friends that were so close-minded. I've lost so many friends speaking my mind, and honestly I don't care, because I feel I'm doing a public service. I am here speaking my mind, and I want people, I feel that I'm not gonna cut back on anything that of any of my posts or anything like that. The more I post it, the more people are going to see it, and people are going to start to question it, and people are going to read into it. I've had a lot of people that were so against any of my beliefs, thinking that I'm just crazy, and literally going into my posts, trying to find examples and other articles to prove me wrong and to call me a liar. And someone found some fake news articles and stuff like that, and then just write it off and use that as their fact. But the real people that have actually gone in there and actually done their own investigations to some of my claims, they're starting to wake up. A lot of them haven't come to me and told me, hey, I've woken up. But I'm telling you that a lot of them have woken up, because now I'm starting to see their posts go out. And now they're starting to share memes. So just because a lot of people have this pride, and they're not going to, just back down and, oh yeah, well, I was wrong or anything. There's just, hey, as long as they're starting to see the truth now, they don't need to do that. I don't need them to come to me and tell me that I was right or anything like that, because deep down I know I'm right. These people, let them save their face. I have no problem with that, but at least they're on board now, and they're waking up, and they're starting to actually ask questions, and that's the point. And that's what we need to do. But I just actually pulled into a gas station. I have to get some gas, but I just really wanted to get on here, and I just wanted to make this clear that people really need to understand that we're fighting for freedoms. We are fighting for morals, but we're not going to classify any group whatsoever by any majority of that community or anything like that, because there are people out there that are just as normal as you and me, that do believe in morals and do believe in freedoms, and we don't need to segregate anybody, because these might be the same people that are going to have our backs. We go over into the ghettos and stuff like that, we see crime rates and stuff like that, but guess what? There's a lot of decent people that just have a hard life, that just can't get themselves out of the ghettos, and that's the problem. So you can't classify everybody that lives in that ghetto as the wrong elements of society. And I guarantee you that even the people that do live lives of crime, I've seen it before, and just being in the military, these people do come into the military and they change their life, and guess what? They have knowledge that a lot of people can't bring to a resistance. So don't judge anybody. Don't classify anybody by any group or anything like that. Keep a straight mind and understand that what we're fighting for is freedom. And we want all Americans to have our backs. When I say go to Richmond, shake every officer's hand, don't go there as a jackass assuming that these are your enemies. These people might surprise you. If something happens, these people might turn around and face the other direction, the direction that they need to be fighting. So just show respect. Show respect to everybody, every American, no matter what community, what nationality, what religion. Just understand, we're all the same. We're all in this for the same purpose. We all want our freedoms. Unfortunately, I tell people, everybody's like, well, this is going to be a civil war. I hope that it'd be more of a revolutionary war because of what's going on in our government. I wish enough people would wake up to realize that this isn't people against people. This is government trying to push people against people. But if it does come down to it where people do need to take sides, we need everybody we can to understand where we're coming from. So don't be making enemies too soon and pushing people to that other side. Just watch what you say. Set an example. Everybody needs to set an example right now, and that's the most important thing. We're all Americans. We all want freedom. We all want respect. And honestly, just everybody's our brothers and sisters until they turn their backs on us. And, keep that in mind right now. So, well, peace out. I will be definitely following what happens on the 20th. I mean, as you know, I'm a truck driver. And honestly, I think that this is the first line of defense. Shit goes south, the trucks need to shut down. Nationwide, shut down. If the trucks aren't moving, this country ain't moving, and that's the thing. Got to keep that in mind too. We have the power to shut down. I mean, not just truckers, but as Americans, we have the power to shut down government. So, all eyes on Virginia right now. I will definitely have my eyes there. If I happen to be passing through, I might show up, but honestly, not everybody needs to show up there. We're going to have such big numbers over in Virginia right now. People are going to be there fighting for what we believe, but we can't put all of our eggs in one basket. We can't have everybody in Virginia because it's going to spread like a plague if Virginia continues to do what they're trying to do. We need people in every state, and we need to show up in force in every state. So literally that means not everybody go to Richmond, Virginia, because honestly we don't know how they're going to react or what's going to go down. So let the surrounding communities get together, go down there, show their support, militias, stuff like that, but don't send all your people. We need people to protect other areas too. So all eyes are on Virginia. I'm sending my support. Definitely, there's a lot of things I want to get going up here in Wisconsin. Unfortunately, right now, Wisconsin's not one of these states that are trying to push any anti-gun legislator right now, but I can't talk. I'm tired. Been driving all night, but anyway, just power to you. Just keep in mind, we're all on the same side, all right? We need everybody. Everybody fight for everybody. Don't segregate. Watch what you say. We're setting an example for everyone. All right? So, peace out to you. Love you all. Once again, Happy New Year. Just remember, we're all in this together. Keep your eyes open. Be prepared. Don't be scared, as West Virginia would say. So, we're all there. All eyes are on Virginia. Sending our love, sending our support. Y'all have a great day, all right?